Okay, this is a video audio session for a winner in the Quantum Energy Activation Facebook group. Um, this person wrote that they want strengthening in loving myself fully. It is all else shall loving myself fully. It is, and all else shall follow. So there's a weakness in loving, and there's a weakness in loving when loving myself. There's a weakness there. And there's a weakness in follow. So loving myself, there's a weakness. Loving separately, there's also a weakness. But so let's see which one is the leading weakness out of all of them. So follow is the leading weakness. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen this person for following. So the first weakness in this following is following their own guidance. So when so that there's a weakness there. So strengthen them to their own guidance, and following other people's guidance, there is a weakness there. So when I think of being a guide, there's also weakness. This person guiding people is a weakness too. So we'll strengthen them to that. So let's see where this guidance is coming from, and let's go more specifically. And that is actually there's a weakness in their cranial cavity. So what we'll do is so there's information in their cranial cavity that is it's more of an energetic information that's weakening this person. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen them to their energetic to the cavity or their cranial cavity, the energy in there. We'll strengthen that. So now guiding people is still weak. So another weakness could be also their oral cavity. So we'll strengthen that for them too. And the other one is coming from their bladder, so we'll strengthen their bladder. Okay, so now guidance. So following is there's still a weakness, so being followed. So there's a weakness to being followed there. So let's strengthen this person to being followed, and more specifically, being followed by men. So we'll strengthen this person to being followed by men. Um, we'll strengthen some other stuff there. And now, so being followed, them following others. So there's a weakness to when they follow gurus. There is a weakness there. So let's see. And there's more specifically following. There's like 30 different gurus that if they're connected to, if they follow, there's a weakness to them. So let's strengthen any karma there's between those 30 gurus, and we'll strengthen that back and forth. Direct, indirect karma between them, we'll strengthen that. So now, when the gurus, those 30 gurus follow this person, there is a weakness there. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen them to that back and forth. So make them strong to being even to each other. So there is a weakness here of evenness. So we'll strengthen them to be even. So now that's strong. So following, uh, being guided, following 100%. So there's still a little more left and follow. So it's more of that collective, actually the influence around this person, their school and education, where there's the collective influences on the theme of follow your dreams. So following other dreams, following your own dreams. So following your own dreams, you're strong too, but following other people's dreams, there's a weakness there too. So it will strengthen this person to following other people's dreams. Okay, so now when I think of follow, Now that is pretty strong right now. So when we think of now, because we strengthen follow loving myself, that if I put them together, that's strengthened. But just say if I just think of myself, there's a weakness for myself. So it's more of hating myself. So this person has a weakness to hating myself. So what we'll do, we'll strengthen this person for hating self, judging self. So self-judgment, there's a weakness there. So we'll strengthen this person for self-judgment. And self-doubt is another weakness. So we'll strengthen this person for self-doubt. And so now when I think of loving myself was strong from before. Myself, there's still a little weakness there. And that's coming from the person's mouth. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen the person's mouth. So not speaking or being nonverbal is another issue. So we'll strengthen the person for being nonverbal, 100%. Okay. So their sensory system is still a little off. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen the person for that. Okay, so now myself is strong. So there's still a little weakness to myself. And that's coming from some limitations, some mental limitations that was self-imposed. So we'll strengthen the person for that. And that's actually coming from the future. And so what we'll do is we'll strengthen this person to the future and make them strong to connecting to the past. And any cumulative effects from the future to the past back and forth is strong. So mental limitations, there's still a little more weakness there. So we'll strengthen that, and that's coming from, okay, so this mental limitation is actually coming from the person's physical body, and more specifically, their systems in their physical body. So we'll strengthen them to the systems in the physical body, and more it's coming from the respiratory system. So we'll strengthen them to the respiratory system. And the respiratory, when I think of the respiratory system connecting to the brain, is strong, but if I think of connecting to the head, is weak. So we'll strengthen that back and forth. Okay, so now myself. So there's still a little more weakness in okay, so that what we'll do is we'll make this person strong to misinterpretation and things being the same, not the same, different, not different, changing, not changing, perception, no perception. So thing not having perception is a weakness, so we'll strengthen the person for that. No perception, and that's coming from the collective influences. So we'll strengthen her for that, and that's more of a global collective influence. So we'll make her strong to that. So myself is still a little more weakness. Uh, so what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen this person, what we call in the UN method model, this person's geometric foundations. We'll make her strong to that. Okay, so myself. So now that person is strong. So now the third leading weakness was, so before it was loving myself in combination. So, but then that got strong because we strengthened follow. But then what was left over in that combination was myself. But now when we think of just loving in general, there's a weakness to loving. And it's more specifically when it comes to relationships. So intimate relationships will make a person strong to that. Family relationships will make them stronger to that too. So family, more specifically, like relationship with the parents, and more specifically, the mother and grandmother and great grandmother. So that's three down those three lines. So we'll strengthen that person for that. So loving, and intimate relationships is also weak there. So we'll check. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll strengthen the person for that, and that is actually coming from So toxins in the person's mental energy. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of any of the toxic energy that's in there. So we'll delete that down and connect that toxic energy to the black holes back and forth, so it can go into the black holes. All the dimensions, universes, time, places, spaces unknown. Make it strong to that. So mental energy, there's still a little more weakness in the mental energy part, and that is weakness in her exit portals, and that's more specifically in her toes and her right foot. So we'll strengthen the exit portals and the toes of the her right foot. Okay, so now mental energy, toxic energy. Okay, so toxic energy is still weak, but that's toxic energy, and we're in a place in the living room of where she lives. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen the toxic energy in that place, and also can uh, energize the black holes in that room, so it can um, be strongly connected to the toxic energy and be able to pull it out back and forth. Okay, so toxic energy, so loving. Okay, so loving is strong now. So now we're going to have those three. So that's a triad. So there's a weakness in that triad. So let's see if it's diversities of the triad that's weak. So it's strengths and diversities of that triad. And that's coming from some trauma on the emotional level. So let's strengthen any emotional trauma coming from the past. We'll strengthen that, delete any accumulative effects into the distant future. So the triad is 100% down to 0. So there's still a little weakness in the triad, and that's because the internal boundaries of the triad is weak. So we'll strengthen that. And now let's see if all three of them come together. There's a weakness there too, so we'll strengthen all three coming together and separating. Two in combination, there's a weakness. So things in two. So coupling, um, parents. So those are two. Yin yang. So anything there is two, uh, there's a weakness there. So let's strengthen this person to two. Okay, so two is still weak. So let's see what's going on with this two thing. So mind, body, and spirit. So if there's mind and body are together, there's a weakness. Body and spirit together, there's a weakness. So anytime any of those two come together, there's a weakness. So, but if they're separately, they're strong. So let's make this person strong to their body and their mind coming together. And that's coming from a spiritual sensation of throbbing. So we'll make it strong to that. And the spiritual, hurting on the spiritual level, we'll strengthen the person to that. And more pain on the physical level. So we'll make this person strong to that. So two coming together, there is still weakness. So let's see, is it coming from, it's coming from a person's parents. So when they came together, that was a weakness right there. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen parents to each other, make them strong to that. And then strengthen this person connecting with their parents. So there is a weakness there, connecting with the parents. Being disconnected at birth caused a weakness, so we'll strengthen that, so which will connect this person and the present with their parents to be strong. So let's see what's causing that weakness there. Okay, so that's coming from a weakness in the bottom brain. So we'll strengthen this person to the bottom brain, and more specifically the sacrum brain, so make that strong. So sacrum brain connecting with the cranial brain is a weakness, so we'll strengthen that for the person back and forth. So cranial brain and tail brain, there's a weakness, so we'll strengthen that. So now back and forth, cranial brain, sacred brain, Okay, so let's see what's, and that's coming from, okay, so there's still, it's still not staying strong. So we're going to go even more deep. Okay, so what the thing is that there is 4 spiritual attachments, spirit attachments that are affecting this 2 thing. So what we'll do is we'll strengthen this person to those spiritual attachments, and then what we'll do is we'll make those spirit attachments strong to separating from you, and make them strong to going to other dimensions, universes, time, space, places unknown, dark matter, and energy. So 5, 4, 3. So there's still 3 more that are still staying, and that has to do with some karma that they have. So let's strengthen them to the karma back and forth. So now all 5 of them are gone. So now what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen you to any accumulative effects from those spirit attachments, and we'll strengthen it. We're going to clear anything from your structure, your cells, your molecules, and your atoms, and we'll make you strong to make them all strong, and we're going to clear it from your structure all the way down to your quantum particles, back up to your structure again. And also we're going to strengthen your spirit and clear any negative effects on your spirit. We're also going to strengthen your body, any negative effects, and your mind. So the body is still a little weak. So what we're going to do is see, and that actually coming from desires. So let's make you strong to your own desires, and specifically when it comes to sex. So we'll make you strong to that. Okay, so now when I think of things of 2, now you're strong to 2. Coupling. Okay, so when 2 in combination are strong, 3 in combination are strong, separately they're strong, and interbounds, external boundaries, so and diversities are all strong. Okay, so let us know any changes, how you feeling in the Facebook group, or privately, either way. And thank you for participating in our in our in our in our group, and we'll stay connected. Okay, bye bye.